So I think we can start our session now. So welcome everybody, and good afternoon to all our viewers. And thanks for tuning in to our Facebook Live session today. We are talking today about scholarship opportunities for study and research stays in Germany. My name is Christine Rosenberg, and I'm the head of the press and cultural section here in the German Embassy. And I'm very happy to have you all here watching our live session with Dr. Inge Iqbal, who is the head of the DART Information Center here in Islamabad. Thanks for being with us, Inge, today.
Thank you very much for the introduction.
So unfortunately, I have to say that at first we needed to make some changes to our today's program, to our format, due to some unforeseen circumstances. We initially planned to have a session with both DART and Alexander von Humboldt Foundation to inform about the scholarship opportunities of both the most important scholarship organizations. But however, due to some unforeseen circumstances, our second guest could not join today. And that's why we decided to have a session entirely dedicated to the DART scholarship program today. But I guess we will not, we will have enough to talk about because as I mentioned already, DART is the most important scholarship, the most important organization which is offering scholarships. And it is also the largest funding organization for international exchange of students and researchers. And to start with, I would like to say a few words about the DART, which is an abbreviation for the German Academic Exchange Service. So that's a German abbreviation, but we nevertheless use it as DART. So I have to admit that I have also a personal relationship to DART because I'm a DART alumni myself, and I was lucky enough to get a scholarship for during my own studies. So the DART is really close to my heart, and it's always a brilliant opportunity to go abroad as a student or a researcher and to get in contact with other fellow students, researchers in other countries. So you see, DART is not only offering scholarships for persons abroad, like here in Pakistan, but also for Germans who want to go abroad. It is indeed a big organization which has funded so far 2.6 million scholars in Germany and abroad since its foundation in 1925. But however, its activities go far beyond simply awarding grants and scholarships, because DART is also supporting the internationalization of German universities, promotes German studies and the German language abroad, assists developing countries to establish effective universities, and advises decision makers on matters of cultural, education, and development policy. A few words about the funding. DART's budget mainly derives from funding of German federal ministries, among them primarily also from the German Federal Foreign Office. And an interesting fact for Pakistanis, from Pakistan, around 600 DART scholarship holders are currently studying in Germany in different programs. And I would like to invite now Inge to tell us a bit about these different programs that DART is offering for interested scholars and students. So Inge, the stage is yours, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Yes, again, for the introduction also of DART as an organization, as a scholarship organization, and also for the invitation. We are very glad that we have the opportunity to introduce our programs here, long time before the deadlines will take place. So yeah, we offer a wide range of scholarships. We don't have any undergraduate scholarships. So if you're looking for an undergraduate scholarship, then there are other organizations who do offer undergraduate scholarships. So it's not that this is not there, it's just not offered by DART. But other foundations do offer that. We have a range of specialized master's programs which are fully funded through DART scholarship. One is the so-called Helmut Schmidt program. It's a fully funded master's program of 2 years. It's also known under the abbreviation PPGG because it's for the subjects out of the area of public policy and good governance. I think later we will have 1 or 2 alumni from that program speaking, right? One is an alumnus and the other one is has just started. And so this is a very interesting program for the students coming from the area of social sciences. We also have the so-called EPOS scholarships. They are also known as development-related postgraduate courses. They require 2 years of relevant work experience. So it's only for this program that you need the 2 years of work experience. For the PPGG, you can also be a fresh graduate, for instance. And we also have 3 artists programs. I saw in the comment section that there was also a question related to scholarships for artists. So we do have scholarships for artists, and those are master's programs. One is a postgraduate studies in the field of architecture. The next one is for studies in the fields of fine art, design, visual communication, and film. And the third one is for subjects around the field of music. So those are also for fresh graduates. You should have completed a first degree in these fields here in Pakistan before you can apply to one of these artists programs. So that was an overview of our master's programs. For the PPGG program, we work together with 8 universities in Germany. One is the University Bonn-Rhein-Sieg, the second one Duisburg-Essen. Then there's also the University of Erfurt, Magdeburg, Osnabrück, Passau, and Potsdam. So there are 2 programs at the University of Passau. Each of the programs is a little bit different. So you will have to check out at the university websites or the PPGG website which of the programs from the fields of public policy and good governance would be the best fit for you. And yeah, for the EPOS programs, it will be important for you to know that this is a group of programs from specialized subjects. It's normally a list of around 40 postgraduate programs. Some are graduate programs, others are PhD programs. And as I said, it's only specialized fields. So it's not all fields that are offered, and they are also bound to certain universities. So the admission requirements and the required documents, you can get that from the specific program website or from the university website. We have, for instance, I cannot read the whole list, but we have, for instance, economic sciences and business administration, development cooperation. We have engineering and related sciences, natural and environmental sciences. We have regional and urban planning, mathematics, medicine and public health, social sciences, education and law, media studies. So it's, I think, a very broad range of subjects that are supported through that EPOS program. Yes, for the deadlines for the EPOS programs, you have to check with the universities. They can set up their own admission deadlines. And yes, if you are looking for a scholarship and you cannot find anything in in our lists on the website. You can also use our scholarship database. It's the funding guide, and it lists all the available funding opportunities. Not only ours, you can also click there's a box which says only DART funding. I would not click that box, because maybe if you click the box, then you will not get the other types of funding that might also be interesting for you. And besides of the postgraduate programs, we also have our DART research grants. They are only for PhDs and postdocs. So all those of you who would like to do a PhD in Germany or postdoctoral studies, then you can apply for our research grants. They are open to all subjects, so there's no restriction regarding your subjects. You just have to have completed 18 years of education here in Pakistan so far. So that would be the MS or MPhil. So
we will also post.
That was, as an overview, everything that I wanted to introduce, and now I'm open for questions.
Good. So maybe we can post that link that you mentioned to this database about the scholarship programs. We can post that in under the comments here.
Okay. Should I add it, or should I just tell you the website name? It's funding-guide.de.
So we will add it to the comment section, so that everyone can have an access to it and can find a suitable program. So maybe now it's time to come to the first round of questions. So I think we have a lot of questions here in the comments section. I will just pick out some, because some are also some questions are occurring several times. So maybe you can at first mention, elaborate a bit on the eligibility criteria of funding. So maybe what are the criteria to be eligible for a DART scholarship, and maybe also a few words on the application process, if possible.
Mm-hmm. It depends on the program. So there are different eligibility criteria for each program. For the PhD and postdoc scholarships, the DART research grants, as I said, you must have completed 18 years of education, your MPhil or MS, either here in Pakistan or somewhere else. And you must find a supervisor in Germany. So one of the very important required documents is the letter of acceptance of your prospective supervisor in Germany. If you apply for a structured program, you also will have to submit the letter of admission from the university. Otherwise, you will have to submit all your educational documents. So everything that you have done so far during your education in Pakistan. You also have to submit a research proposal, and you should start writing that proposal early. So if it's like 2 weeks before the deadline, it would be very close. Please start early so that you can elaborate on what you would like to do. It will also be helpful when trying to find a supervisor. And otherwise, you will have to provide a language certificate. So either an IELTS or a TOEFL, and the IELTS should be minimum 6.5 overall band, and it shouldn't be older than 2 years. Otherwise, it would be expired. Okay. So that's the most important eligibility criteria for the application for the PhD students. And the postdocs can only apply for the short-term grants from our research grants. So we have long-term and short-term. The postdocs can only apply for the short-term grants, and they don't need the language certificate.
And there's another question. Do the documents they have to submit need to be attested, or they just send the documents, the copies of the documents as they are?
Well, for us, they don't have to be attested, but I don't know whether they might need it later for the visa application.
Yeah, so that's of course the next question regarding the visa. Of course, there are also a lot of questions regarding visa questions. So there, I have seen the question about spouse visa. There was one question if a spouse and maybe also children would be allowed for a DART research or study stay in Germany. I can say from the embassy side, this would be a case-to-case analysis. So it depends a bit on the duration of the stay of the person who receives the scholarship, so it's possible depending on the duration of the stay of the student or researcher who's going to Germany. So then maybe another question regarding the deadlines. So there was also the question, when do I have to apply for a DART scholarship? Can you let us know the deadlines?
Yeah, for the DART research grants, the deadline is tentatively the end of August. So it's normally around the 31st of August each year. It can also be a little bit earlier or later depending on the weekends. So, but it's normally around that time. And for the master's programs, the different universities have different deadlines, and they will have to check with the specific university they apply to. So it differs from university to university. And for the artists programs, it's normally end of September or beginning of October. That's the deadline for the artists programs.
Okay, good. So there are also a lot of questions regarding medicine. So can you tell us something about possible programs for medicine?
Yeah, we often receive this question, can I do my MBBS in Germany, or can I get a DART scholarship for doing my MBBS in Germany? So if you would like to become a medical doctor and go to Germany in order to study for becoming a medical doctor, then you should get really well informed about that program, because it is very different from Pakistan. We don't have any bachelor's or master's in medical sciences. First of all, you would have to learn German from, you would have to learn German at up to a level of C1, C2, which is a native level of German language. And you would have to start from the beginning and study till the end. And that's 5 to 6 years. So there's not the same structure of the program that you find here. And the selection procedure is very hard. Only the best of the best get a place at the university, admission to a university for medicine. Normally, we recommend the students asking for doing the MBBS in Germany that they should do the MBBS in Pakistan, because the education for the MBBS in Pakistan is very good, and afterwards they can go for the specialization to Germany for 2 years. They still would have to learn German up to C1, C2, but they would have still 5 to 6 years to learn the language, and during their studies in Pakistan. And then I think it would be easier to go for the specialization, because there are then other funding opportunities for the MBBS. Since it would start at the undergraduate level, there would be no funding from DART. And I think also no other funding organizations fund any medical sciences for becoming a medical doctor from scratch.
Okay, good. So there are also some questions about the funding opportunities for teachers. Could you also elaborate a bit on that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so there are there is something like development programs for teachers. So, for instance, we have the partner program with the HEC. It's a faculty development program. You can get more information on that program on our website and on the HEC website as well. You can also check there whether they offer it annually or less or more frequently. So we have this program, which is specifically for the teachers, for the faculty development for teachers. And we also have, among the development-related postgraduate studies, some programs which are related to educational studies. So those who would like to go to Germany and are teachers already in Pakistan, they can decide whether one of these programs would be a good fit for them. And since if they are already teachers in Pakistan and they have 2 years or more work experience here in Pakistan, they would also be eligible in order to apply.
Then another question appeared here in our comments section. Is there a fixed number of scholarships for Pakistani students or researchers? Is there a kind of a quota for Pakistan or for each country?
I don't know of such a quota, but it's of course a budget question. So every year, in the beginning of the year, the new budget will be decided, and the budget will decide how many scholarships our headquarter can offer. But this is never the same. So in some years it might be more, in other years it might be less. But there is no country-related quota, so we don't have a quota for Pakistan or for other countries. And we also don't have any Pakistan internal quota, like for Balochistan and Sindh and Punjab, so people from anywhere can apply.
Okay, and then in the end you will decide after the interviews, you will decide on the best candidates then?
Exactly, yes.
Maybe you can elaborate a bit on the application process. So what would be the procedure once the applicants have submitted their documents?
So it is an online application system. So everything has to be uploaded to our online application portal. And so normally they don't have to send anything to our office. For some programs, it is that they have to submit reference letters and they have to be sent, so the original letters have to be sent directly to the headquarter in Bonn. That's normally the case for the DART research grants. This year, due to the corona pandemic situation, we had this situation that they didn't have to submit reference letters, but normally they are required. So normally the students have to gather all the required documents and upload them through the application portal. That would be everything they have to do for the DART research grants for PhD and postdoc. And for the master's programs, for the PPGG, they have to submit directly to the universities, to one of the 8 universities that we cooperate with. And for the EPOS programs, they also have to send it to the universities. And I think they also have to fill the DART application form in the portal.
Okay. And then after how many weeks will they get a letter from you or an invitation if they are invited for an interview?
It totally depends on the number of applicants. So I cannot tell you any number of weeks or months. So for instance, if we take the research grants as an example, the application portal will close on 31st of August, and then we need time to review all the applications. Now imagine that we might receive several hundreds of applications. That takes a while, and we also have to coordinate with the headquarter Normally, the selection interviews, the personal selection interviews, will take place in Islamabad then in November or December. So it might take a while till the students will receive a positive or negative reply.
Yeah. And then the normal start of the scholarship would then be the next year, the winter semester next year.
Yeah, I think not before April. We always tell the students that they also have to consider that the visa application takes a while. So if they do not apply on time for an appointment for the visa section, and if they don't get all the documents together, then the visa procedure might also get delayed. And so I think it wouldn't be realistic to think of starting the program before April next year.
Okay. So then maybe one word from my side regarding the visa process, because of course there are a lot of questions regarding visas. So if you are a scholarship holder, for example, a DART scholarship holder or an AVH scholarship holder, then you will get an appointment within a very short time. So you will be first priority. You have to book an appointment mentioning that you are a scholarship holder, so that you are receiving a scholarship from a German organization, and you will get an appointment on a priority, on a fast track, so to say. So for the scholarship holders, there is an extra, so to say, an extra track. And these, of course, all the documents will be then checked, and you will receive the appointment and then also the visa with some 2 to 3 weeks probably. So most probably these are this is the procedure for scholarship holders. So unfortunately, for students who are not on a scholarship lane, so to say, who want to go to Germany to study there without a scholarship, it is we have a long waiting list. Indeed, a lot of students are applying for appointments at the visa section. So there, unfortunately, we have long waiting times. But this does not apply for scholarship holders from German organizations. So, for example, DART scholarship holders. Maybe another question which I have seen. Let me just go back, because is there an age limit? That was one question. Is there an age limit to apply for a DART scholarship?
No, we at DART, we don't have any age limit, but there's a limit. So there's no age limit for the person applying. But there is the degree shouldn't be too old. So for those who would like to apply for our research grants for PhDs, in this case, the last degree shouldn't be older than 6 years. And for those applying for a postdoc, the last degree shouldn't be older than 4 years. So that's the age limit I know. And in case you need, for instance, admission to a university, I actually cannot imagine that in Germany there is an age limit for applying to a university, at least not for the public university. I think that would be probably discriminating. Okay. So I have had many very, very old fellow students, and they were probably older than 50 years old. And so I think there's no age limit for getting admitted to a German university. And there's also no age limit for the DART scholarships. But I cannot speak for other scholarship organizations. Maybe they do have age limits.
Okay. Good. So now we will close the first round of questions and answers, because we will have our first DART scholarship holder now joining us in our session. It is Pashmina. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
You're right now in Germany. You are doing your research in the University of Lübeck.
Yes,
And
yes.
you have accepted to be with us in this session to give us an impression about about the experiences you gained during your stay in Germany. So let us know when did you arrive in Germany, and what are your impressions about doing research at the university you're right now studying?
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Christina, and thank you, Ms. Iqbal, for inviting me for this session, this academic session. I'm really very happy to be here in Germany through this prestigious DAT scholarship. And it was quite hard with the Corona times, because we were supposed to come, our batch was supposed to come in June to Göttingen for the language course for 4 months. So they give you a 4 months language course when you're selected, and the selection procedure is quite competitive when they select you. But after that, when you are in there, you have so many benefits with DAAD. And the thing is, we were supposed to come in June, but then we came in October. So I am here since 1st of October. And I came to Lübeck directly for my PhD. And I did, unfortunately, due to the Corona times, I had to do the language course online. But it's a pandemic, so nobody could do anything for that. But still, the German embassy and everybody were very cooperative, because we had the scholarship and we got the visa appointments on time, and everything was really good. And research, of course, Germany is known worldwide for its research and its advancements in technology. And I'm really happy to be here. My PhD is in human genetics, cardiogenetics. And my supervisor is also very nice here in Germany. She's in Lübeck. She's Professor Jeanette Edman. Her name is this, and I'm working with her since May, but that was online. And now I am here to do all the lab, all the wet lab techniques by myself, and I'm really happy to be here, because I couldn't use that machinery in Pakistan. Pakistan is not that advanced in the research specifically.
Okay.
Yes.
So would you say that this scholarship is furthering your career, and what would you say, what are your plans after you finish the scholarship and come back to Pakistan?
My plan is that, of course, DAD is helping me in building my career. So these are the steps that I'm going through. And after 4 years or 3 years, they give you an extension for the 4th year as well for your PhD. I'm really willing to serve humanity back there in Pakistan, to work with the same diseases like cardiovascular diseases. But then I'm already trained to continue with my research at a higher level when I work from here. So I will go back to my country after 4 years, but I'm really happy here and really successful and really very lucky to get this prestigious scholarship.
Okay.
And it's, sorry, I couldn't hear you. Yes, can you?
So I just wanted to ask you one last question, maybe. What are you maybe missing the most from Pakistan while you are now in Germany? Is there anything? I guess food, probably.
Yes. Okay, so the main thing is I was always in Germany with my parents, with my family, because my father got the prestigious Alexander von Humboldt stipendium, and we were here with him in Heidelberg, in University Heidelberg, where I also did my bachelor's. And I was very lucky to be here in Germany, so I was very familiar with the German culture and the German food, which I missed in Pakistan. But now when I'm in Germany, I am missing, of course, the food, and my family is because it's the same environment, the same people, the same culture, but my parents are missing, and my siblings, who were also really happy in Germany when we were here. We had a wonderful time here because all of us went to school here in Germany. when our father was sent by the once he always used to come with the Alexander von Humboldt stipendium. Then he also was awarded the Iqbal chair from the Pakistani government. So we came here for 5 years. So that was the best time that we had in Germany. That was when I was in Heidelberg. But now in Lubeck, yes, one thing that I'm learning now is because that was south of Germany and this is north of Germany, there's a difference in the culture, in the food, in the people, in the places. Because south of Germany is more rich with nature and more mountains and rivers, whereas North Germany is more rich with beaches and like the Baltic Sea. So I'm really happy to be here, but I miss my family a lot and the food as well.
Okay. So we wish you all the best for your future stay in Germany. Please stay safe and also keep learning and keep studying, and all the best of success for your future plans.
Thank you so much. I hope Corona ends soon. We started with the vaccinations here. I'm really hopeful that the next year would be much, much better. We did not have a normal Christmas here this year. It was very sad in Germany because Germany is known for its famous Christmas markets as well. They are really wonderful. And this time it was sad, but I hope the next year is with much better environment and much better situation than the pandemic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Christine. And
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good. So now, thanks to Pashmina to give us some insight into her life in Lübeck. And now we have the second Dart scholar ready. He will join us, or he has already joined us. Good evening, Hanan. Good evening to Passau. So Hanan is right now doing his master's degree at the university in Passau. So Hanan, maybe you could also share some of your experiences with us and let us know how you like Passau and studying in Germany at Passau University.
Hey, thank you so much, Christina and Ms. Iqbal, for having me here. And I'm glad to share my experiences and my journey to Germany. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, I'm on one of the scholarship that Ms. Iqbal mentioned, Helmut Schmidt program at the University of Passau. It's a very small, nice town. It's enriched with nature. It's in southeast of Germany in Bavaria. So this Helmut Schmidt program is basically these are 8 universities which offers programs about governance and public policy, and DART funds these 8 programs at 8 different universities. At Passau now we have 2 from the next year, 2 programs, one in development, and now I'm studying governance and public policy. So just a bit about application, and then I say something about what it's like to be here. For the application for the Helmut Schmidt program, you have to apply directly to the university. You see 8 universities, they are available on DART's website, and then you go to the university's website and see which suits you best, and then you select one of them, 2 of them actually, and you can send application to one of them and prioritize the universities. And for that you obviously need the deadline is usually in July, and then you obviously need your IELTS result and your bachelor's degree to start your masters. And they don't necessarily have to be attested. I see the question was there, but it may vary from the university to university. So you directly send your application and other things and a DAD form for the scholarship directly to the university by July 31st or 30th July, something like that. And then they almost usually contact you by the end of the year. And then now they are at first there were no interviews, but this year they have also started doing interviews for this scholarship as well, online interviews by the university and the panel. And once you are selected, and then you start your language course by April next year. Uh, the language course is usually 6 months, and you get a stipend for those 6 months. The residence is provided by DAD, and then you have to pay for your food from that stipend. And it's a 6 month good language course. You get to B1 level if you are good at B2. If you start from A1, you can go to till B1 in 6 months, and it's a very intense but very good course. And by then winters, you can start your university in October, September, depending when your university is starting. So I came here in October, and with this scholarship, then comes almost 860 euros per month and stipend. This is the stipend because education is normally the education fee is very nominal. The semester fee is very nominal. For example, 80 euros at 30 school. I think it's a bit more, but usually it's very nominal, 80, 200, something like that per semester. But then this 860 goes towards your rent and towards your groceries, or and then you also get annual research grant. It's also very nominal from DAD, and also the travel allowance uh, for the air tickets. And obviously, as Christina told you, that visa process is quite easy, becomes a little bit less complicated, less time taking than the regular students if you are on scholarship, and it was easy for me. And then, of course, the one thing is how you get settled and how you find the residence. The university international office helps you with that, and your scholarship coordinator will help you with that, especially in this program. The university's international office usually is helping you, and they can offer you some good places. And yeah, so yeah, this is interesting. The next part, once you arrive there here, it gets it's all not glitter and gold. Then you have to study, because German academic culture is quite different from Pakistani academic culture, and here you have to read a lot, and that's not something very common in Pakistan universities. You get by there, but here you have to produce research paper even in your first semester, and then you have to read a lot and study a lot. The academic culture is quite serious, I would say, than Pakistan, but I think it's very good one. And you get to know a lot of stuff, how to do proper research and how to produce research papers. And professors and teachers, I think, are the most kindest being I've ever seen. They're very kind, they're very sweet, they give you proper time, and they can work with you on your problems. And of course, then with this kind of seriousness comes an independence as well. You are free to choose the subjects, which is not very common in Pakistan. I would say only few universities are offering such options where you can go to the portal and choose the courses for each semester. Here you have this kind of independence to some extent, that you can choose what you want to study or specialize in. And then even when you take the subject, you are almost more or less free to do your research on whatever you like. Your professor will not ask you to do something very specific. He will just ask you to follow a proper method for research, but you are free to choose the topic. You are free to choose the topic on whichever you want to work. And yeah, but I think this is pretty cool that you can choose the subjects you want to specialize in, and this is not very common in Pakistan, I would say. And yeah, so but lastly, the culture the culture shock is real, I would say. Of course, you miss food, and especially for Pakistanis, Pakistanis miss, and people who are from South Asia would miss their people, because South Asian people, I don't know, are very warm, I would say. Especially with these Corona times, I haven't experienced very much of the culture yet, but yeah, you miss food, and especially your spices, because those kind of spices are not available here. But yeah, you get Turkish food, Afghani shop, all kind of food. But maybe if you are too used to spices, bring the spices from Pakistan. But yeah, of course, even is in a small city like Passau, you have Afghan shop, Turkish shop, and whatever you want, things like that. So yeah, you get the food and everything as well. But yeah, it can be a bit tough in the start, because everybody speaks German, but you have 6 months of German learning. And then supermarkets are huge, and you can get your stuff. And it can be a bit stressful at the very beginning, but gradually I think it becomes easier and good, because I think this kind of training is good for your career and life as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Hanan, for sharing your experience in Germany with us, and for giving such an enlightening and concise description of challenges and also advantages maybe in Germany. So thanks a lot. All the best of success to you for your further studies. And also please stay safe from Corona, and greetings to Germany, greetings to Passau. Thank you, Hanan.
Thank you so much, Christine, for having me. Thank you.
And now we have a third, and this is the last Dart scholar. He's joining us also from Germany, Dr. Faisal Adnan. Good afternoon to Germany. Good afternoon, Dr. Adnan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christine. Good afternoon to you. And yeah.
Thanks for being willing to join us here in the session and to maybe share some experiences of your stay. You were a Dart scholar for a PhD program, so maybe you can let us know about your stay in Germany during that time. What were the advantages? What were the challenges during your stay? And how would you say has the stay in Germany and maybe also the contacts that you made there benefited you in your further career?
Okay, thank you so much, Christine. So I would like to start with my search for the PhD scholarships. When I was searching, I was interested to go to Australia or Canada. But then luckily I got a position in Germany. So in Germany, when you get a position, so there are there are options. For example, if you are from Europe, so usually you get funded directly from the projects. But the project where I was selected, so for that only European people can be funded. So then I applied to DART and to the Scholar Rescue Fund. So I got selected for the DART. So I will request all these students that if you are applying even for the open position, so if you get selected and you are not getting funding for your PhD, so still you can apply to to the DART program. So that's really you have an advantage because you are already selected, but you need only funding. So that was my story that I got selected, and I came in 2010. It was October 2010, and then I stayed here for 4.5 years. I completed my PhD with Professor Klug in University of Gießen. And during my stay, I observed a lot of difference between the two cultures and between the two academic systems, and it's quite difficult to tell all these things now in 2 or 3 minutes. But I will just tell you one difference which I would like that in Pakistan we should have this system. If you are getting PhD in Germany, so here you get if your PhD is with excellent grade, so you get we call it summa cum laude, and then we have the magna cum laude, it's a very good, and then we have the good grade. So this grading system in PhD, it's I think exclusively here in the German system. So I really like it because only the best student can go to the academia, and they can become a professor, and they get chances to be a part of the university. And this is something which I observed, and for that you then have to work a lot because, for example, if you want to get the excellent grade, so you have to have 3 publication as a first author. So that's something that a lot of students are working for it when they are in Germany. And there are some other differences. For example, I will say that the facilities here, it's obvious that in developed countries the facilities are too much. So if somebody is wishing to get a PhD with advanced research, so they should come to Germany, to any other developed country. And I think in Europe, I think Germany is the best option. So this is something, and I think the rest of the things others scholars have already shared, so I will not repeat those things. But I would like to tell more about the after scholarship advantages. For example, when I got graduated in 2015, so I went straight to Pakistan, and I got selected in one of the one of the best university in the country. and it's the NUST University. So that was something because of the German degree. I think I learned a lot of things. I got many skills, and that's why one of the best university offered me the position. And then every like 2 years you get a chance to come to Germany. Like for example, I got a chance in 2017 to come to University of Gießen, and I have to tell them that what I'm doing, what sort of links I have. So they offered us like science bridges program, and we just recommend 2 professors that we wanted to have collaboration with them. And then our graduate school basically helped us to develop collaboration with them, like the Pakistani University and the German University. So I'm working on one of my project with them. And again, you have this re-invite program. So you can come to Germany every 3 years, and you can again get this chance to develop your collaboration. So this is something that I personally think it's quite unique with this DART scholarship, that they ask you even after the after your PhD, that what you are doing, and it's like a family that they take care of you, and they ask you about like your activities and if you need help. So my current visit is also part of that collaboration development program, and I'm basically now in the Greifswald University, and I'm here now working on One Health program. So Professor Katrina Schaffler is one of the famous One Health professor. She's already working in this area. So now I'm trying to develop collaboration with her. I'll be working with her for 12. And yes.
Okay, perfect. I think we lost you for some 2 seconds, but now you're back. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us, and for also pointing out the benefits you had after the DART scholarship and after your research stay in Germany. So obviously you're still in contact with Germany, you're still in contact with the researchers in Germany. So this is also a great sign of sustainable connections and contacts you have established during your stay in Germany, and that's of course really nice to see for us. So all the best for you for your further stay in Germany, and have a safe return back to Pakistan. And thanks again for joining us and for sharing your experiences with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you.
Good. So now we are approaching the end of our session, but I think we have some maybe 7 minutes left for a second round of questions and answers. And Inga, I think we have during our talk with some DART fellows, we have received some more questions, and I will ask you one question regarding scholarship opportunity for journalists. Do you have anything in mind that DART offers for journalists?
Journalists, a PhD or a postgraduate?
Well, if you offer both, you can maybe shortly describe both.
Yeah, I mean our PhD scholarships, our doctoral scholarships under the DART Research Grants Program, they are open to all subjects. So if someone would like to do his PhD in journalism, he or she is welcome to apply. Yeah, next deadline is 31st of August tentatively. So, and for the masters, I do not recall now this whole list. Maybe there is something among the development-related postgraduate programs, because I think there was media studies. So it might be that in this media studies program, this might be a fit for a video journalist. I mean, a journalist is not just a journalist nowadays. So there might be video journalists, bloggers. There are different types of doing journalism now. And I think the person who has asked that question might have a look into that program. And but there is something that might be interesting for that person, which is not from Dart, but from Deutsche Welle. The Deutsche Welle is offering every year this Masters in Journalism for journalists. And so I think the person should check out definitely that Deutsche Welle DW program. I think that's a very attractive opportunity.
Indeed, yeah, thank you. And then maybe one question regarding PhD application. How old should be, I think you mentioned that, how old should be the last degree to apply for a PhD? You mentioned that, I think it was 6 years or?
Maximum of 6 years. Yes, a maximum of 6 years.
Good, perfect. And then
at the time of application. So at the time of application, it shouldn't be older than 6 years.
Okay, good. So maybe we will also post that list of the different master programs of this EPOS list. We can maybe also post it in the comment section, so then everyone can have a look at that list. Maybe I will take over one question regarding visa, because there were several visa for bachelor students. Indeed, we have long waiting times for undergraduate, for bachelor students. However, it might be an option for you to make your bachelor's degree in Pakistan first, and then apply for a master's degree in Germany, because for master students, the waiting time is less than for bachelor students. And here again, if you are having a scholarship, you will again be taken on a priority track. So you will not have the months of waiting for an appointment. Unfortunately, we have a lot of students waiting for appointments for studying in Germany. However, for scholarship holders, we can offer faster, quicker appointments than because they, of course, have already gone through an application and selection process. So maybe one last question. Let me check if we have another question here. There was some question about linguistics. Is there also some offer for linguists, for example, for, I don't know, English or even maybe German linguistics? Do you have something an offer for that?
I remember that question. I think it was regarding a PhD in linguistics or law. And yeah, as I said, our PhD scholarships are open to all subjects. If you find a supervisor in your field or for your project, then you are welcome to apply for our DRD research grants. Again, they are open to all subjects, and you can apply also for linguistics. And you will have to find your supervisor and your university on your own. The best would be if you just think about your research proposal, develop your proposal, and then look for a professor who's working in your field. And this will make it easier for you to find the university. So we do not have a list of universities that we work together with for the PhD or postdocs. You can choose from any of our universities. I think at the moment we have a total of more than 400 recognized universities, and you can choose your supervisor or your program from any of those universities if you would like to apply for a PhD or postdoc. The master's programs are often associated with the different universities. I think for the masters, we don't have any specific DART scholarship programs in linguistics. But for the PhD, you are welcome to apply. And for those who would like to go to Germany for a master's in linguistics, I think you will find a university which will give you admission, and then you can look for another funding opportunity. There are many other scholarship organizations, and you can have a look, for instance, in our scholarship database. I think we have posted the link in the beginning of this session. This scholarship database is a complete database. So you will find all scholarship opportunities that are offered for studies or research in Germany, not only from our side, but also from all the other organizations, from the political organizations, from other organizations. Everybody who offers a scholarship is listed in there.
Okay. So we will. I will again announce that we will post that list with the offered master programs later in the comments section, and maybe also again, because there's the question of undergraduate students. We have already talked about that in the beginning of that session. So maybe just to repeat again. From DART side, there are is no focus on undergraduate funding. However, there might be some other organizations who do offer scholarships for undergraduates.
Yes, exactly. Other organizations, and for undergraduates, maybe also sometimes the universities have funding available for certain fields. So I know that for some fields the university do offer that, and there's also this Deutschlandstipendium. And I think sometimes also undergraduates can apply for that. So that's, I remember that a friend of mine received that, and she was an undergrad in Germany. So yes, something else that I wanted to add, of course, we have only this 1 hour today for this session, and I'm sure that we haven't replied to all of your questions. And those of you who still have individual questions and would like to have an answer, just send us an email. Maybe, Christine, you can share our info@dart email address, and then those of you who have questions can just email us, and we will reply to your email.
Perfect. I think that's a lovely closing remark. We will post the email address in the comments section, so you can find it there and you can directly. I guess we could not answer every question. That's for sure. But we will try to give you some more information with some links, which we post here in the comments section, so you can have a look at it and maybe also find out regarding your specific field which is interesting you. So we will send these links in the comments section after a short while. And Inge, let me very much thank you for your willingness to be with us here in this DART scholarship session. I think it was, I hope it was really helpful for those who watched us. Thanks to everyone who joined us here online for this session. And once again, thanks for being with us, and all the best to you, Inge, to your team, and of course also to the whole audience for next year. Hopefully we will have all a very good next year, 2021. So have nice last days of this year, and hopefully a good year next year, 2021. So thanks again, Inge. Thanks to all our 3 DART alumni. If they are still watching us, thanks for joining us, and thanks for everyone who was with us here. So I hope we can continue this kind of session also next year, hopefully then also with AVH, with Alexander von Humboldt, about PhD and postdoc scholarship opportunities. And we will announce it here on Facebook as soon as we have fixed a date for this. So thanks, Inge. Have a nice evening, and everyone.
Thank you also from my side.
Thanks so much.
Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.